Hi Libra, welcome to one of your bonus readings, potentially for the month of January 2026. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Laura, aka Baby Curl Tarot. I'm a tarot reader, astrologer, and root worker, and I love doing monthly readings for all the zodiac signs here on YouTube, as well as some other fun content over on TikTok and Instagram. This bonus reading is because you guys were one of the top 3 zodiac signs that engaged with my content over on TikTok and Instagram and Threads for the January reading and the 2026 predictions reading. So this is my way of saying thank you guys for those of you that engaged over on those platforms. I'm going to be doing another bonus reading for the top 3 that engage the most with the YouTube readings. So that'll be coming up in a couple of weeks. Let's go ahead and jump on into your reading. Today you guys get a 2-for-1 special. It's a love reading and a general reading. So let's go ahead and jump right on into your love reading. All right, spiritual team, love oracles. What messages do you have for the Libra collective at this time? What messages do you have for the Libra collective regarding their love lives at this time? Okay, let's see what we have. First up, we have Whitney Wolf Hurd. I'm not familiar with her. Let's see what it says. If you don't make the first move, someone else will. Every hour spent staring at a screen is an hour spent alone. Beware. To other people, your profile is your true self. Okay, so this person seems very... I wonder if she created a dating profile, like Bumble, Tinder. Maybe she created one of those. I'm not familiar with her at all, so it is what it is. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Okay, we have Albert Einstein. This came out for Cancer's love reading too. Let me put this over here. And this one says, objects in a mirror are closer than they appear. The distance between 2 objects is always relative, and the simplest things are sometimes the most complex. Interesting. Okay, so I feel like Libras, for those of you that are single especially, I'm getting the vibe that like love is just on the horizon for a lot of you. Some of you guys may need to just either put yourselves out there a little bit more or take the lead, take the initiative a little bit more than maybe you have been. Okay, so if you guys have been wanting love or wanting to get into a relationship, but maybe you haven't taken the steps, or maybe you've been waiting for people to come to you, maybe it's time to change your approach a little bit, okay? Let's get into the tarot and see what comes up for you guys. Spiritual team, Divine Feminine Tarot, what messages do you have for the Libra collective regarding their love lives? What messages do you have for the Libra collective regarding their love lives? Okay, what do we have? Queen of Cups at the top of the deck with the 2 of Wands, Page of Pentacles in reverse, 2 of Cups in reverse, 3 of Cups. What's at the bottom of the deck? Page of Cups in reverse, the Sun, 9 of Pentacles, Page of Wands in reverse, 7 of Wands in reverse. I feel like a lot of you guys have given up on looking, but you're starting to realize, you know what, maybe I want to start looking again. Or some of you guys may realize after this reading that you want to start looking again. But I feel like up until this point, a lot of you guys have been really hesitant in terms of like putting yourselves out there, right? We have the Page of Cups in reverse. We have the 9 of Pentacles. We've got the Page of Wands in reverse. We got the 7 of Wands in reverse. It's just like a lot of you guys have just been happy being solo dolo, right? Anytime I see the 9 of Pentacles, like this is someone who's very independent, whether you're financially independent, romantically independent, like this is someone who doesn't mind being alone. You're good, you're fine. And I think a lot of you guys just aren't interested in, you know, maybe you guys do have secretly, you know, some fears about, you know, starting over, starting fresh, starting something new. Maybe it's not going to work out, or, you know, it's not what you envisioned, or not up to your standards, whatever the case is. Okay. Or some of you just simply want, you know, commitment free too. Okay. But ultimately, I just feel like a lot of you guys have just not been actively pursuing love up until this point. And I feel like that's starting to change. I feel like you guys may be in a position or at a point in your lives where you are really ready. Maybe you've come to like this point in your life where you've matured a little bit more, or you've achieved things that you've wanted to achieve. Or you just feel like that's like you're content with your life as it is right now. And now you're realizing like, okay, I feel like there's something that's missing potentially. Take what resonates again, because not everybody's going to feel that way, but you just may feel like, okay, now's the time. I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I'm in a good spot. I'm mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually in a place where I have love to give and I want to give it to somebody. So let's take a peek and see what's out there. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like, I feel like you guys are still, even though you guys might be ready, you might be willing, you might be looking, I feel like some of you guys still aren't really like fully invested, if that makes sense. With this Page of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like you guys aren't super invested. And maybe that's just because you guys have been single for so long. You've just become comfortable with being alone. And so you're like, I don't really feel like putting in a whole lot of effort. Like if I meet somebody, I meet somebody. If not, then not. Okay. But I also feel like if you guys really do want this, if you guys do feel like this is something that's missing in your life, companionship, then you're gonna have to realize like people aren't necessarily gonna just come to you, okay? And it could be more like in the modern sense too, like as someone who identifies as a woman, you know, I think there was definitely a time where, especially if you're in a heterosexual type of, you know, romantic interest, okay? You're heterosexual, you are a woman that likes men. I feel like society has traditionally said like, okay, the men are supposed to pursue the women, right? Or that's just how it's traditionally been done for however long, okay? I feel like in this day and age, I feel like you may find that you have to pursue a little bit, or at least like make it known that you're interested in somebody, because there could be some really great men out there, but they don't put themselves out there because they're nervous about being rejected, or they don't want to come on too strong. Like they don't want to be that guy at the bar that like can't take a hint, or thinks like, oh, she's giving me the signal, and she's not giving you the signal, my dude. That he doesn't want to be that guy. So some of you guys, and take what resonates, doesn't have to be that specific example, but some of you guys may find that you have to make the first move. You guys have to kind of put it out there like, hey, I'm interested in getting to know you. That kind of thing, whether it's in person or on a dating app or at a, maybe like, what's it called? Speed dating with this 3 of Cups. I mean, you might have to like take the lead a little bit. You might have to say, hey, I'm interested in you. I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. Do you want to go on a date with me? And it may not be something that you're used to doing. You're used to being the one that's being pursued. But I think in this particular situation, in this day and age, you may find that you have to put yourself out there a little bit more in a little bit of a different way. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. That's what I'm getting for the romance. But I feel like once you start to put yourself out there more and start taking chances and being like, hey, will you go on a date with me? You're gonna find somebody, because this card says objects appear closer than they appear. So love could be right around the corner, and it could just take you going out of your way to go and talk to somebody instead of waiting for them to come talk to you. That kind of a thing. All right, Libras, I like that. Let's take a look at, I'm going to close your reading out with an oracle deck, and then we'll move on to your general message. So give me 1 second. Spiritual team, Hidden Truth Oracle, what messages do you have for the Libra collective regarding their love lives? What final messages do you have for the Libra collective regarding their love lives? Let's see. Ooh, come here. Come here. These are slippery little cards. Okay, what do we have? We both know I am not the one for you. Interesting. So this could have to do with like people that you have come in contact with up until now. Like it's just not the person, not the people for you. Maybe you feel that way towards people that you have met. Okay, so far. What else? I couldn't let you get close to me. I feel like this is you guys, or whoever's feeling like maybe there's a wall up, or like you're just not putting in the effort, because I do feel like a lot of you guys, and maybe this is the person that you're dating, but I feel like you guys are or have been just very content with being single. Yeah. And so there could be some hurt still from past relationships. You're like, I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want to emotionally get invested in somebody. So there could be a little bit of a wall up. Let's see. At the bottom of the deck, though, it says, I lost myself for a little while. Interesting. Okay, so maybe they were feeling a little better, or you were feeling a little bitter about relationships. And so that's why maybe you guys have been single for so long and not interested in relationships. Maybe you guys have had like a really like a negative view about relationships or commitment or whatever the case is. So I feel like, and again, if this is your energy, I feel like you guys are starting to realize like, I need to let my guard down. I need to be a little bit more open if I actually want someone in my life, and vice versa. If this is someone that you've just recently met or you're dating, maybe this person is kind of giving off that vibe, and maybe they are realizing at some point like, hey, you know what? I've had a wall up. Like, I really need to give this an actual chance, and I'm sorry that I put you kind of at a distance from me. But ultimately, Libras, that is what I'm seeing for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and clear the deck, or clear the table, and reshuffle, and we'll get into your general reading. I'll see you guys there in a second. Okay, Libras, let's get into your general reading and see what messages Spirit has for you. Spiritual team, Prism Oracle, what messages do you have for the Libra collective at this time? What messages do you have for the Libra collective at this time? Okay, what do we have? Ooh, we have Death at the top of the deck. Okay, don't get scared now. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have Determination. Interesting. Cancer's got Determination too. I swear I did shuffle these decks. Okay. Very interesting. Maybe you guys are connected to a Cancer somehow, or you have Cancer in your chart somewhere. Okay, Death and Determination. I feel like there's an ending. Anytime I see a Death card in any deck, I associate death with endings and new beginnings. Okay, so death and rebirth, essentially. So there's a death, and now there's this feeling of like, okay, it's time to start over. It's time to make the best of this situation, regardless of whether this was a death that you chose, like an ending that you chose to make, or an ending that, you know, you didn't have really any say in. So let's say you got, this is an example, maybe you got evicted from your place of residence, right? So now you're evicted, now you are on the hunt to secure a new place to live, right? So I feel like it's kind of that thing where it's like, okay, I quit my job, I moved across the country, now I am really hitting the ground running and looking for work, or you know, making something new happen in my life. Okay, so I feel like this is potentially something really good, really beautiful here with this Determination card. I feel like this is something that you can absolutely achieve and make happen. So let's get into the tarot and see what comes up for you guys. Spiritual team, Divine Feminine Tarot, what messages do you have for the Libra collective at this time? What messages do you have for the Libra collective at this time? Okay, we have Lovers in reverse. We have the Wheel of Fortune, Two of Swords in reverse, Seven of Swords, Three of Swords. Interesting. What's at the bottom of the deck? We have the Six of Cups in reverse, Hermit in reverse, the World card, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. Interesting. Okay. This is really interesting, and I don't mean to laugh, but it's just somebody didn't speak up about something. Someone didn't speak up about something is what I'm feeling. It's either that or someone chose to okay, so it feels like someone refused to give up something, and then the universe was like, you can either give this up, you can either end something, give something up to have something else, or you can keep trying to hold on to this, have both, and it's not going to end well. And I think some of you guys that are going to resonate with this message decided not to end things. You tried to hold on to two things at the same time. And that's just because I have the Lovers card here in the reverse and the Two of Swords in the reverse, which talks to me about usually like weighing your options or having to make a decision of some kind. For some of you, maybe this was something involving your relationship. Yes, the Lovers can talk about love relationships, but the Lovers can also talk about having to make a decision between two things that you really care about or love. So unfortunately, fate kind of came in here with this Wheel of Fortune and was like, I mean, the world's gonna keep spinning regardless of whether you make the decision to do something or not. And I feel like this is spirit pushing you to make a positive decision, but you guys are holding on to it really tightly for whatever reason. It's like, I'll give you an example. So you are trying to lose weight, but you refuse to give up junk food. You refuse to stop going to drive-thrus. Okay? Spirit, the universe comes along and says, well, you didn't want to give it up, so now we're going to send you to the hospital. You're going to get sick, kind of a thing, because you refused to give up this lifestyle, this kind of habit, right? And again, this is just an example, but try to and apply that to some sort of situation. It was like, okay, so maybe in a relationship, you were supposed to give up needing to be right in every argument. And so you refuse to like grow or let go of that thing in your relationship. And now, because you refuse to stop needing to be right in every argument you get into with your partner, now your partner has shut down or switched up in a way that is not ideal. Okay, so maybe now they are starting to interact with you in a very specific way. Does that make sense? Interesting. And I feel like it's a lesson, it's a learning lesson, because we have the Three of Swords here and we have the Seven of Swords. So it's like, are we gonna learn our lesson? Are we gonna do what's right moving forward, or are we gonna keep making these mistakes? And then this is kind of like a point. It's a real turning point for me. It's like either you learn the lesson and you salvage what you can out of the situation, if it hasn't completely blown up on you yet, or you can keep going down this path and you can keep resisting, and you could potentially lose everything or make things just significantly worse for yourselves. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, what else is going on here? Yeah, I mean, bottom of the line, that's bottom line, I've been having such a hard time talking today, so I do apologize. But bottom line, that's essentially the message I'm getting. It's like, I feel like if the determination card is here, I feel like you guys are recognizing what needs to change. You guys are recognizing that now or at some point, hopefully before it's too late and things get really drastic. But I feel like this is definitely a wake-up call. This is like Spirit's way of saying, hey, like you need to really look at this and take this seriously and start making different decisions. Otherwise, you're gonna be in a world of hurt. You're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna hurt your own feelings, basically, is what I'm getting from this. So if you guys can recognize that you need to change, you can be self-aware, great. I'm all for it. I'm rooting for you guys every step of the way. Even those of you that maybe aren't self-aware, and again, take what resonates. If this isn't a message that's resonating with you, it's not for you. But for those of you where maybe you're resistant to that change, or you're resistant to that self-awareness, or you're resistant to thinking like, I couldn't possibly be the one that needs to change in this situation. Maybe my partner is the one that's in the wrong and they need to change. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. You're gonna have a really tough time. You're gonna have a really tough time. You are. All right, Libras, that's what I'm seeing with the tarot. Oh gosh, it's not fun. It's not fun. I'm laughing because it's like, it's so hard delivering those messages. Like, I just feel awkward. I feel awkward because I feel like everybody in the comment section when these types of readings come up, or I always get like one or two people that's like, this is so negative, this is fear mongering, this is blah blah blah, like you're a negative person. I'm like, I just read the cards and tell you what I see. Sometimes it's very positive, sometimes it's very happy, sometimes like I have to tell you about yourself. And for those people that are like, this is negative and this is fear mongering, you're the type of person that can't take accountability. It is what it is. You're the type of person that cannot take accountability to save your life. So this message isn't for those people. This is for people who want to take accountability for themselves, that, you know, can recognize that you're not a perfect person and life isn't perfect, and that sometimes we're the ones that are in the wrong. That's who my messages are for. People who want to take accountability, and people that want to know whether they're, you know, messing up or not. I'm not perfect. I mess up all the time. It's not that difficult to admit. I don't know. That's me. That's just me. Anyways, that's a rant that didn't need to happen. All right, let's go ahead and close out your reading with one final oracle deck. Spiritual team, daily crystal inspiration. What final messages do you have for the Libra collective at this time? What final messages do you have for the Libra collective at this time? Okay, what do we have? Jade, be the bigger person. Be the bigger person. Yeah. Interesting. Be the bigger person. It's like you can either, like, I'm going to come back to the relationship example. You can either continue to want to fight and be petty, or, you know, prove your point, or, you know, always have to feel like you have to be right in the relationship. Or you can look for ways to make the relationship work and find ways to communicate with your partner that is conducive to a healthy, loving relationship. Or you can continue to be right. You can continue to make your point. You can continue to be petty. I just personally don't see that working out long-term in a loving, committed, romantic relationship. You know what I mean? Anyways, we have Amazonite, loosen your grip. Yeah. And that's for those of you that are resisting the change, that are resisting the need to let go of whatever it is that you need to let go of, okay? And for a lot of you guys, I just feel like this is something that you've held on to for so long because it's either kept you safe, it's kept you, I don't know if safe is the right word, but it's allowed you to navigate the world the way that you feel like you need to. And I feel like Spirit is trying to say, it's time to let that go. It's time to be a different person. It's time to be a bigger person. it's time to evolve. It's time to grow and change and let go of some things that we used to survive, you know, survival methods, tactics, whatever you want to call them. Finally, at the bottom of the deck, we have Celestite, Soothe Your Soul. Interesting. Yeah, in a lot of ways, this is like healing related, right? Especially for those of you where it's like a communication style or it's a way that you approach something. Because I feel like for a lot of you, it's like how you react to certain situations or conversations or whatever. It's like a knee-jerk reaction for a lot of you. Someone does this or says this, I react in this way. And that's just how I've always done it. And so I feel like this is possibly a knee-jerk reaction that stems from some sort of hurt or whatever. Again, take what resonates. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. It may not resonate for every single Libra out there, okay? Take what resonates. But I feel like this is also a way to kind of let go of something. Like some of you guys may have a wall up. Some of you guys may have like a chip on your shoulder that you just need to like let go and release and heal and just recognize like, yeah, that really sucked. Like that trauma really sucked, but I can relax. I can be at peace. I don't need to constantly battle with people in my life, especially people that I love or maybe in a relationship with. I don't constantly need to battle people in order to feel heard or feel respected or whatever. Okay, again, just examples. And then this is an opportunity to kind of release that and just feel vulnerable or, you know, I don't know, but I feel vulnerable is maybe like the most important word that's coming to mind with that kind of example. Like maybe this is an opportunity to be vulnerable and to be, you know, supported and loved for who you are without having to, you know, put on this whatever. Okay. I'm having a hard time finding my words, but hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. Okay, Libras, that's what I'm seeing for you guys. Please leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the reading. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me in the future, and maybe share this with another Libra if you feel like it would resonate for them. I do share some different types of content over on TikTok and Instagram. As I mentioned earlier in the video, my handles are below in the description box, and you can send me DMs there on those platforms if you want to schedule a personal reading until my website is officially set up. As always though, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. Hope to see you guys at the next reading. Until then, please take care of yourselves. Bye.